As Mike Reese is reporting that the Niners are listening to trade offers for Brandon Aiyuk and letting the receiver negotiate with other teams, all right? Those other teams, Patriots, Steelers, Browns among them, at least the teams that have been in contact with the Niners. Aiyuk's been a hold in at camp, hoping to get a new contract. Here's Kyle Shanahan on Aiyuk's situation. It's new on SportsCenter.
I've kind of planned for everything, not knowing it could go any direction. So we've been doing the same stuff. If that continues, we'll keep doing what we planned on. And, the hardest thing is just not have as much wideouts out there. So we got to make sure we get through that with some of the injuries and stuff. But, no, nothing's changing right now.
Do you expect or need this to be resolved pretty soon?
No, you always want it to be badly. But this stuff does take time. And, every day I hope it gets resolved.
Would this team be better if you traded Brandon Aiyuk? Could you see a scenario where you're better because of that?
Brandon's a great player, so it's real hard to be better when you lose a great player. So we got to look into anything. We got to understand the situation we're in, what that looks like, and that does take time. So hopefully it'll all work out best for him and best for us in the long run.
It's tough because the Niners have so many weapons, but still, Aiyuk has proven himself to be a game changer, recording almost 13 yards per target last season. That was the best in the NFL and the best since we actually started tracking that stat in 2006. Certainly you can see why the Patriots have some interest. They ranked 30th in yards per passing attempt last year. We welcome in ESPN NFL reporter Jeff Darlington, who's been on this story for us. And Jeff, what's the latest right now on Aiyuk and his future in San Francisco?
Well, I can tell you that you see those logos down there at the bottom of the screen. We've got a number of teams that are interested in Brandon Aiyuk and are having ongoing conversations with the 49ers. Now, there are two major components in play here. The first of which is draft compensation for the 49ers. They've got to get enough to be willing to give up Aiyuk to one of these interested teams. The second component, Brandon Aiyuk has to be willing to accept the contract offer from one of those teams. So given the fact that we are to the point, for instance, with the Patriots and the Browns, that there are ongoing discussions, we feel like it is at least within striking distance that they could get the trade compensation figured out. Will Brandon Aiyuk, though, take the contract offer on the table? That right now is the huge looming question over the NFL. If that happens, we could see a trade by Brandon Aiyuk to one of those teams.
In terms of financials, if he stays with the Niners and plays out that fifth-year option on his rookie deal, it'd pay him around $14 million, which certainly you wouldn't blush at home, but is paltry comparatively. More news out of Niners training camp as well. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey, calf strain, is going to miss some time. Tell us more, Jeff.
Yeah, not just some time, the entirety of this preseason. Now, of course, that is going to trigger alarms across the league and fantasy football managers as they get ready to do their draft. But I can just remind you that Christian McCaffrey missed last preseason and rushed for 151 yards in week 1. This is not necessarily something to freak out over. The anticipation is that he will be ready for the start of the regular season. But the team at this point, being pretty cautious, they do want to sideline McCaffrey for at least the foreseeable future to get him ready for the regular season.
There's a ton of question marks around the Niners right now, but you know what? The odds makers remain unmoved. They've got the second best odds behind the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl at just 6-1. Jeff Darlington with the latest.